Good morning, everyone. How are you doing, my tribe members? So I know it is a late start this morning. Honestly, I really don't care. I woke up with some severe back pain this morning, so I really had to take my time. So I will be getting to the weekly and to the leap of faith today. But I really wanted to let y'all know what I experienced this weekend, and holy crap, mind blown. For the first time ever, I actually got to witness the dynamic of a twin flame energy from an outsider's perspective. And like, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. And I did get the okay from my friend to be able to share this story with y'all. So, if you are new to my channel, I am Jessica, and thank you for being here. And if you are my lovely tribe, thank you for being here as always. Now, with that being said, okay, me and my friend, my dear soul sister, we have this really strange dynamic. And I don't know if anyone else has gone through this before, where you have a friend that you go through very similar circumstances, significant life changes around the same time. We are exactly a month apart from each other. I am a Taurus, she is a Gemini. And I was born on April 28th, she was born on May 28th. And everything that seems to happen with us always seems to happen within that month, usually the same day, week, days, whatever. And we did meet our divine masculine very close to each other, same time frame, okay? Now, this has been going on for like a year, and even though me and my friend are very close to each other, we see each other quite a bit. I have not met her divine masculine yet until this weekend. And, it was very interesting to see because, I only hear her side of it, which, I love her to death. She gets in her head a lot. And we all do, right? And that's just part of what we learn to, cope with, is that we do get in our own way. We overanalyze a lot of things, especially when it comes to the twin flame journey. But I really wanted to see it for myself. And, usually I do not agree. And I will say this. Usually in our 9 years of friendship, I do not agree with her partners. I'm like, you just have terrible taste. You're going for the wrong people. You are so beautiful and just so amazing. Please realize your worth. And this is the first time, even though the dynamic is very, it's a touchy subject and it's very hard. Okay. Good morning, Ellie. But this is the first time I'm like, no, that is your fucking person. Okay. Like, hands down, this is your person. So this is what I actually realized. And I was very honored to be put in this position to be able to open him up, right? And to be able to get him outside of his comfort zone. I told her, like, we've had this talk before where I was like, I swear we were sisters in a past life. Good morning, Nicole. Good morning, Michelle. How are you doing? But yeah, like, I knew that me and her had to be sisters in a previous life. What I found very interesting is that the moment I met him, I felt like he was a brother. Like, you had to be my brother-in-law in a previous life, because I was just full blown like, nah, we're not doing this again. Okay. So I was immediately comfortable just speaking to him in a certain way as Jess, right? So when I've been on this very high energy kick and very in tune, spirit's been very high lately and leading me to people who are more skeptical or not, open to what we do. And I mean, blowing minds, right? Like, opening all kinds of people who probably without my help would not have stepped in this. So I'm honored to be that person. Now, he has this thing about being late. And she started freaking out. He ain't going to show up. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nah, he's coming. But we know he's late. That's what he does. That's his trademark. So, of course, he shows up, after we eat and everything. And it was very interesting because as soon as he sat down, it was just like, yo, what's up? Da, 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 da. Oh, I'm going to eat all y'all's food. Okay. So You know, seeing her, you know, as soon as he got there, you know, she did feel a little bit at ease, but it was more of one of those things, like she was still very guarded. And they had this, what I called a cat and mouse dynamic, where if she went towards him like, oh, I want you, he would be like, nah, I don't want it. And then she would back off and be like, he don't like me, he doesn't want to dance with me, blah blah blah. And then as soon as she would start to retreat, he'd be like, no, come back, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like so cute, but they were both getting in their heads a lot. So, you know, I just kind of like introduced myself, talked a little shit with them, you know, made them feel comfortable. And then within like the hour, I was like, that friend, you know what I'm saying? That friend of truth, like, nah, listen, get outside of yourself, right? And so all she wanted to do was dance with him. She just wanted to let loose. She just wanted to feel that connection. And he was so like closed off because he's not a dancer. He didn't know what to do. And so I approached him and I was like, listen, she thinks that you're not into her. So you better get your ass in gear, get on that dance floor, do what you got to do, but you will dance with her by the end of the night. Do you hear me? And he was like, what? And I was like, no, seriously, you need to get your ass in gear and get on that dance floor. I don't care if you need another cup of liquid courage, you are going to dance with her. And so one of the things that he said to me, which really got me, okay, because, you know, actions and words speak differently. And when you can see through the bullshit, you know, the lie detector, right? He was just like, well, you know, we've tried to be easy and had fun and look where that got us. And he starts, you know, this whole mental, and he goes, what am I supposed to do with her? Look at her, you know? And I was like, there it is. He does not feel worthy of her, right? Okay, so then there's that internal struggle of feeling worthy, deservingness, which we've all heard, especially in the twin dynamic, that the divine masculine does have a lot of issues with self-worth and deservingness of this connection, right? So it was one of those moments where I did have to push him very hard to get him outside of himself and to get in that mode of just letting go. And he did try to distract himself with a friend that was with us. And it was just like, get up, get up. I'm not gonna repeat myself. And so after a while, you know, he did try to distract himself and whatever. And, you know, even though he got another drink, he still wasn't even touching it. And it's like, I don't care if you have to chug it. Get on that dance floor because we about to leave. And so within 10 minutes or so, he finally got on the dance floor. We went and paid our tab. And I look over and they are letting loose, y'all, letting loose. I mean, I have never seen such a dynamic where there's so much resistance. And then all of a sudden it was just gates wide open. I mean, I almost cried in the middle of a bar. Okay. Like, this is fucking beautiful. Is anyone else seeing this? Like, this is fucking beautiful. I was so emotional and it was like, there it is. There it is. Okay. He still has problems with that, you know, denial, self-worth, self-confidence, but he finally was allowed himself to just let loose for that one moment. And it was like, my heart felt so full for them. And she didn't even realize it because she was still blocked off. And like I said, this cat and mouse, where he let loose, she closed up, she opened, he closed. And it was like, okay, now I understand what everyone is talking about when it comes to the twin flame dynamic, where there is the runner and the chaser, and it's this back and forth energy. But if you both allow that surrender, that's where the magic happens, right? And it was absolutely beautiful to witness. Now, I was about to say, okay, my job's done. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take my friend home. We're going to call it a night. It was already getting late. And they're like, nah, let's go back to the house and do readings. Probably wasn't the best time, but it was definitely worth it because he used to believe in this. He used to believe in a higher power. He used to believe in magic. He used to believe in manifestation. And now he doesn't. Well, he didn't. Okay. We go back to her house. And I had to warm up, with her. I did her reading first. And I did my other friend that was with us. And I don't know much about this person. So, I blew his mind too. And then it came to him and he kept distracting, putting it off, procrastinating, do whatever he could to not receive these messages. And finally, I was just like, sit down. You are receiving these messages. It is time. You need to hear the truth. Just let it happen. So finally, I get him to sit down and I start pulling the cards. And I'm just like, bam, bam, bam. What is this? I don't know. But keep going. I don't know. But yeah, just keep going. Okay. So he kept trying to deny, or distract from what was coming out. But he wasn't exactly not accepting it either. And he actually got angry because we started talking about hypnosis and he was like, I'm angry. And I felt it. I felt it. My empathy has been out of control. And I was like, you know what? I'm angry too. Wait, no, I'm not. I'm not angry. I'm perfectly fine where I am. That's your shit, not mine. And he's like, what? He's used to people reacting out of fear of being judged or, misunderstanding or whatever. He's used to retaliation. He's used to the reaction. I wasn't going to give him that. Like, for some reason, I feel like you are my brother. And I'm going to tell you straight, that is not my shit. And I am not going to accept it. You need to get yourself under control and really ask yourself, where is this, this animosity coming from? And he's like, I just don't feel like, people should control the mind. And it's like, no one's controlling the mind. They're opening it up. Right. And I was like, it's really not much different than the messages you're receiving right now. And I answered all of his questions and gave him all the confirmation he needed. But after the reading, it was like, he just walked around with this deer in the headlight look. Like he was woke, y'all. Every time he looked at me, he was just like, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And he wouldn't even tell us what it really was. I just said, there is an opportunity that is coming up that is brand new for you, but it is tangible and you need to start planting your seeds. You need to start working towards it because this is going to be very beneficial for you. I really feel like he's wanting to start his own business, but he didn't really give me that confirmation, but that's what I feel. And I'm sticking to that. And I mean, it was literally like one of those moments where someone was so closed off that now it's like, oh my gosh, there's possibilities. This is real. This is happening. And she just opened my eyes. So honored. So honored. And then I did regression work on my friend that was there that night too, yesterday. And, through his regression, it was like this eye-opening experience, which opened my friend's eyes. And she was like, well, maybe I can get that too. Maybe he would be interested. And I was like, dude, if you can get me to actually allow me to tap into the twin dynamic on a regression level, can you imagine the messages that we would get? Especially the ones that are, creating resistance with their journey, with their union. And I feel like if I'm allowed to do that, which I think he's going to let me, he's already said he would. So I'm super excited about that. And I will definitely let y'all know any messages I receive. But I'm super excited that I went from someone who is completely closed off, completely, just within themselves and blocked off to any goodness coming into their life because they feel like they don't deserve it. And one of the other things that he said to me was, I don't know how to show up for her consistently. And I'm scared to be in her life if I can't do that for her. She deserves it. And that's another thing, right? A lot of our divine masculines are scared of stepping into our lives because they don't know how to show up consistently, because they don't know how to show up consistently for themselves. So if that, good morning, Carlton, if that is one of the things that you have been thinking about, it is a confirmation, okay? Because a lot of us are going through very similar dynamic. So not only is it about self-worth, deservingness, but it's also about knowing that the divine feminine deserves it all, right? They deserve happiness. They deserve someone who can show up for them the way that they deserve, and they can't do that right now. So we have to allow them that space and honor, what they're going through and show that support. It doesn't have to look a certain way. You just need to be there for each other. And it wasn't until they sat down together that he actually let those emotions come to the surface. He actually teared up. He's like, I'm not going to cry. But it wasn't until they got in the bedroom that he was like, I just can't believe this. God, and his mind was literally opened. His crown chakra was. So, there's a lot that goes into it, but seeing it from an outsider's perspective also allowed me to understand my dynamic better too. And I was already in a state of surrender and acceptance with my situation, but it just helped me even more. And I'm so thankful and so honored that I got to witness that. And I can't wait to see how all this, goes in, because he thought I knew more. He was like, well, what do you know about me? And I was like, pretty much nothing. I know about the dynamic between y'all, and I know that you're a Scorpio. That's it. And he was like, okay, well, proceed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and it's all about holding space. It does not have to have any labels. It does not have to look a certain way. It doesn't have to happen in a certain time. You just need to enjoy what you're going through, that time together, and learning to trust each other and open up to each other. Let us see the vulnerable sides, but you first have to earn that trust, y'all. You have to earn that trust, because they don't trust anybody. They don't. And that's why they're easier staying to themselves, because they don't have the proper tools to really let go. And so, again, that's why we hold space. That's why we honor it. That's why we send support, loving energy, however that may need to be. But it was so beautiful. And I'm just really excited that I can share that with y'all. I hope it makes sense. But it really was. It was crazy. I mean, I went from like, no, I am pushing you because you deserve this too. It is not just her. It is not just you. This is about you together, right? And then seeing them just, I mean, my heart hadn't been that open in a long time. I mean, it was just pure love. And that's why I told her, I was like, you got to get outside of your head too, because y'all are doing it. You're mirroring each other hardcore. I mean, like when I looked at them side by side, it was like they were the same energy. There was no difference. And that's why I told her, this is your person. It might not make sense now, but this is your person. And I will also say that there are several divine feminines that either watch my channel or I have come across that are trying to deny this connection because they are not getting what they want. Okay. You can't deny it. You can't. The more you try to deny the connection on either side of the spectrum, the more they are going to push you. Okay. And that's why acceptance is so important. But my whole thing is, no one can tell you if that's your twin. You already know. The signs, the synchronicities, the energy between you, you can go months, weeks, it doesn't matter, even years, and you can still feel them. But when we come with animosity, we are pushing them further away. If we are pointing fingers and casting judgment, we are pushing them further away. But you're not pushing them, you're pushing you. You're not giving yourself that credit. You're not giving yourself that space to really honor your emotions. And listen, they're not, the divine masculine is not running from us. They are running from themselves. So if you were trying to run from your divine masculine, you were running from yourself. And I hope you understand that. So if you are going through the twin journey and then you start denying this connection because it's too difficult, this is bullshit, this, whatever the case may be, and no matter how far you try to run and you're being slap shot back together, there's your sign, okay? You can't let go of your other half. It doesn't exist because they are you and you are them. They're just in a different body. So you accept it, you continue to grow, you continue to work on yourself, stay in your own fucking lane, and send them the love that they deserve. Let them know that they are deserving of this love. They are deserving of this connection, and that you are here to support them regardless of the situation. And you will find joy in your everyday life because you are choosing you, not them, you. So I hope that makes sense for y'all. But I did want to get on. I wanted to share these messages before I get on the weeklies. And I wish y'all the best of luck. And remember, there's so much love there, y'all. And when all these trials and tribulations are done, make the most of it. But it will come together. This connection is divinely protected. And it's not going anywhere. So you might as well enjoy your life. Continue to send them healing energy. Let them know where they stand and that you're there for them. And do what you have to do to keep moving, because the life cannot stop. You cannot sit around and wait. You are not doing yourself or them any justice. So do what you got to do. Continue to love on yourself hardcore. Continue to send them the support that they need, and continue your life. Okay? But try to stay out of the mental energy and stay within the heart and see the truth of the situation. When you are in separation or causing a lot of resistance, it's because there's stuff that needs to be worked on, y'all. So allow it to be healed, allow it to come up for reflection, and accept it for what it is. So with that being said, I love y'all so much. Thank you for being here. And if y'all have any questions, just let me know. All my information is down below in the description box. About to get started on these weekly, so I'll see y'all in a few minutes. Bye.